Oh, back to the old grind.
Well, back to the old grind.
Smash Dax.
I got my head.
Hey, Torn, how's
mine
it?
too.
Jack, I need you to go into the sewer.
No.
The metalheads.
What if,
Again?
what if we just ended this conversation with no? And Torn's like,
And the sewers
oh,
are the only way in
all right then.
We haven't been in there.
I guess I'll go myself.
War broke out.
Gonna need my claw shoes.
Something
That's
about
good.
that. Something about that Dexter portrait over there kind of spooks me.
I mean, no scouts have ever come.
Oh yeah, I caught it for just a second, but yeah, I can see what you mean.
Ow! Still
Wait.
giving us the crappy missions, huh?
Just like old times.
Dangerous? I'm beginning to like this war.
I don't get. I don't understand him at all. Actually, that one line I don't get, and that is based on a render of how Daxter used to look like in some of the poster materials for Jak 2 and Jak 3.
Kind of does, actually.
It's a little too. It's a little too like. I like to think it's a little uncanny.
Yeah. Whoop.
It's all right. Back into the sewers yet again. My favorite place for
Would
Jak
you argue
2.
that? Would you argue that Arc 2 of Jak 3 is essentially just a retread of Jak 2?
Maybe I could definitely see it as like that was like their big. This is their big like. Hey, remember like. I mean, looking at the game as like an expansion from Jak 2, I don't think it's a bad choice.
It's really not. I mean, hell, you already got something pretty unique in the form of Sparkus.
Yeah, and
Cool.
again, I have guns like these that can trivialize sections like these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, everybody.
Look at that.
And of course, the checkpoints are a little more forgiving this time around. So
Much better. And yeah, as you're seeing, the beam reflector is kind of broken. I love it. Gotta break these
yes, it
fans.
is.
And the Tesla claw.
I'll show off. I'll show off the gyro. Whatever it was called, gyro accelerator. I forgot its name already. I don't use it that too often. The third and our final blaster gun upgrade.
And then you get the Peacemaker, and well, all hands go down.
Well, the issue is that the Peacemaker has a lot of low ammo. Otherwise, I would use it more often.
Yeah.
Beam reflector.
Just out of curiosity, are there any parts of Haven City that we don't get to go through during this part of Jak 3?
Well, I will say, without spoiling anything,
I don't think they bring back the slums.
the slums are almost all destroyed.
Pretty much.
Parts of them are still alright. I will say parts of them are alright, but not like some of the other parts. The farmland area is outright, without spoiling it, the farmland area that was beside where we normally would go to need momentum. Where normally we would go to the precursor forest. The farmland is all destroyed and taken over by something else. There we go.
Whoa! Hello, surplus the skull
Prizes!
gems we're probably never gonna get any mileage out of.
Yeah, again, to remind Hype and James, the Metalhead Skull Gems are really only used for purchasing... Excuse me?
Wow.
That's the Jawburster.
What were we saying they were used for again?
They're used they're used as a currency to pay money and buy they're like your entry fee into most mini games to get precursor orbs.
Gotcha.
So yeah, really, there's not a whole lot. I'm not gonna use too many of them. The mini games are pretty much the same standard of like, here is hide and go seek, collect that precursor orb to get 3 of them. Go this one and do a race between rings. Here's another one where you have to drive around the desert and quickly find somebody. Stuff like that.
So yeah, nothing too terribly exciting, unless you really don't mind that form of padding.
Yeah,
It seems harmless enough.
and the upgrades themselves are nice. Like, again, the... Uh-oh.
Honestly, that's more. Honestly, it's more than what I could say for the challenges of Mega Man 11.
Yeah, I think you need to show those off at some point, 'cause I'm not sure what those are.
They're
I'm
basically.
pretty sure he does in the extra mode.
I do show them off in the bonus part. Spoiler warning style, by the way. But that being said, the only thing I don't like is that you don't really get. They're those kinds of challenges that feel a little more. They feel more like feel less substantial than, say, the kinds of missions where you actually get something out of it. Because you really don't
they're
get. You
basically just-
You really don't get anything out of them outside of maybe fulfilling a few achievements.
Gotcha.
Yep, and maybe some bolts for the shops.
Yeah. I mean,
Which they just give you consumable items, don't they?
Yeah, and
Excuse
I mean,
me?
it wouldn't have been so bad if, say, the challenges were all fairly unique. But I mean, say for the balloon challenge and the metal stuff, it's mostly just really standard stuff while going through the exact same level design. Like try to beat it without jumping this many times, or using your buster gun this many times, and so on and so forth. It's
beat
very,
it without using your gears.
Yeah, it feels very artificial. Like honestly, it makes me think back to Mega Man Powered Up, where all the challenges all had unique level design, and you were tasked with going through it under certain conditions. Like that felt more substantial by comparison. And hell, you unlock something for your troubles. You actually unlock Proto Man. Assume you didn't.
Yeah, I get the feeling
download
that.
Ah.
I get the feeling that they're probably just, and it kind of goes into how I feel just about Mega Man 11 in general, even though I really like it. I get the feeling stuff like that is mainly just them like testing water so that they'll know what to do and what to avoid whenever they make 12.
Yeah, I mean honestly, again, the challenges wouldn't be so bad if you got something out of them, but otherwise they're just there for the sake of being there.
Alrighty, well then, sorry to cut that conversation a little bit.
Yeah, excuse us as Jack falls down the pit again.
So sorry to cut that conversation
Jack's
short.
not a rock fan.
So sorry that I have to cut that conversation short. I was really invested in that. We finally made it to the other side of the sewers to find that farming area that I was telling Hype about.
Oh yeah, that farming area.
It got destroyed.
Jack,
By
this is
what?
Ashlyn. I'm glad you're
A
back
metalhead
inside.
neck, a
You're lying
metalhead
in
nest.
love now.
Holy crap!
I need you to take out a cache of dark
That's,
Eco
Yeah,
that's
Export
devil
order.
damn.
It reports that the metalheads are using it to
Yeah,
create
this
terrible
is still
dark
part of
eco
Haven City,
weapons.
and it's
We've got to stop
been
them
kind of
at all
destroyed.
costs.
So,
Good luck, soldier.
so our goal is to go to those giant, ominous-looking, like lightning bolt, glowy things in the middle of the ooze that will most assuredly kill us.
Yeah,
And-
it doesn't
and-
look very.
Has there been a
It doesn't look very safe for those that are metalheads.
And metalheads spawn infinitely here, so just might as well just worry about
I'm
this.
trying to think, has there been any Jack game, like, I mean, obviously I haven't played X or Lost Frontier, but do any of them still retain the menace that are metalheads, or do we finally get rid of them for good? in
I
this game?
believe we get rid of them for good in this game.
Yeah, I guess you could consider like we're taking out the stragglers. I don't believe they appear in X at all, do they?
They don't. Not to
And
my
Lost
knowledge, anyway.
And Lost Frontier brings back the old style from Jack 1 in that you're just fighting the wildlife for the most part.
Which
Wildlife.
is not really all that bad.
I'm debating on doing something for that game. I don't know how long it is or if I should do a whole commentary for it.
I mean, that's up
did
to
beat
you.
it
I
at one
mean,
time.
personally speaking, I would say if nothing else, just go for an extended look at.
Okay, I did beat it at one point in my life, and I did try to
Oh,
go
that's
through
more
all
than I
of
can
the
say. 'Cause
challenges.
I only got so far before I stopped.
There is definitely a part where it gets a little like cheap, especially when you start fighting these. And I kid you not, fine, I'll spoil it a little bit. You fight these dark eco ape thingies,
Dark Eco 8 things.
Huh.
and they have
Wait
a shield that you're
so
supposed
wait
to
a
use.
second. Wait a second. Is the final boss Grape Ape?
No, not Grape Ape. The
Oh,
final
it's
boss.
obviously Miguel Gorilla.
The final boss is actually a unique little
Oh.
twist. Yeah, this place is a little deadly, but again, fortunately, the checkpoints are very. If this was Jack 2, I would have started right back at 5, but they do store how many I've destroyed and put your checkpoint. It's a lot more forgiving, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They learned their lesson.
And I was looking at this, and I don't know, like just earlier when we were in the sewers, I was looking back at the game, and I still love how like come on. How even like after all of these games, like I'm still controlling pretty much the exact same way I did I do in Jack 1 with the long jumps and the rolling and
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's the tried and true method of don't fix it if it ain't broke.
I like that. I like that there is still that consistency at the end of the day, even though I assume one of these had a completely different. Like, are there any remnants of the Jack 1 engine in this game at all?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I would say the most you get out of that is maybe with Jack 2, and I mean, granted, the games weren't really that far apart from each other. I mean, Jack 1 and Jack 2 only had, like, what, a 2-year gap? And this one pretty much had just one.
Whoa.
Ow!
Ow.
Could have given us a little bit of a heads up there.
Seriously, that seemed a little cheap.
Yeah.
Fine. It may have been because I pressed square to punch into it rather than normally walking into it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, I do. Would you buy a Jack 1 remastered if it got the same treatment that Naughty Dog's first franchise got?
Oh, dude, definitely. I mean, actually, speaking of which, they're essentially doing the same thing with Medieval, and honestly, I'm also surprised they're actually going that route as well. Like,
Ooh.
I figured that would mostly be
Yeah,
exclusive to
like-
Crash and Spyro. Oh God.
It's more Dark Eco, which means we got ourselves a new power-up.
Oh boy. Guess
It's
some
kinda-
things never change.
We got a new.
It's a contextually sensitive
Now I gotta go to
power-up.
the manicurist again.
Basically, we now have a Hadouken,
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
and with that, we've now used our power to get back into the port area.
Oh, thank God. Now we don't ever have to go to the sewers ever again.
Yep.
But yeah, just going back to Medieval real quick, I do kind of find it interesting because, well, first off, we technically already have one in the form of Resurrection for the PSP, but from what I've seen of it, I do appreciate that this new remake is definitely a lot more structured like the original game than Resurrection
Which
was.
is funny because the teaser trailer for the Medieval Remastered used a lot of footage from Resurrection, so I honestly figured they were just gonna just make an updated
Oh, like Kira.
Resurrection.
Just
Oh,
scoop up green eco energy and then lay it down over the
oh yeah, that is Kira, by the way.
Hey, Tara.
Oh, it's a good thing you point that out because I actually didn't recognize it at first.
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's the problem.
Well, my thing is that, like, have we heard her talk at any time before
Nope.
this point?
Not in this game.
This was
no.
it. That was her first voice lines. Yeah, that is her voiced by Tara Strong. Does Tara Strong return to voice her in the Lost Frontier?
Yeah, she voices her in every other game she appears in.
Okay. So we have ourselves here a sort of a situation very reminiscent to Jack 1, if you recall, which is using green eco and the power of our jet board to leave a trail behind us, as well as its melee, the circle attack around me, will also spread it really quickly. And other than that, it's not as annoying as Jack 1, where like one little clump will immediately grow back. You just have to take care of each little cluster.
You know, funny coincidence,
Yeah.
considering I just remembered that Daxter does this exact same thing.
Yeah, I think
really?
so.
Yeah, remember during the lookout, we were literally in the garden just spraying all the bug spots or whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, granted, you had a little more energy to work
With
off
old
of compared
Bessie.
to here, but yeah, exactly, with old Betsy.
That fell apart immediately.
Whoop.
Jeez.
By the way, we never did show it off, but that one Lara Croft-esque bitch actually does repair it off screen later on in the game.
Oh, well, that's
Nice.
helpful.
Now, how she was
yeah.
how she was able to sneak behind Osmos just to do that is beyond me. But hey, if it helps the plot,
She has her ways.
yeah. Literally puts him on a sleeper hold.
That wasn't quite the ways I meant, but it works, I guess.
Good old Keebler elf. Still amazes me that he and all the other characters were playable in Jack Cross.
That's right, it was.
Well, why not? I mean, they have the models.
They have
Yeah,
the models,
that is
and
true.
it was pretty much, well, Daxter came out like not that long after Jack Cross, so basically it was mostly a tie-in deal.
Okay, whoa, that guy's
Yeah.
jumping about.
Oh jeez.
He's having a hoppy little thing. So, I'm trying to find something to talk about because we can't. I'm trying to think of something. This is one of the longer-ish missions.
Have any of us ever played Lost Frontier?
I
I have. I was saying that earlier. I own it on PSP and played it on original hardware.
Okay,
and
well,
you said
I
you beat
figured
it.
Well, I figured I guess I could ask, since I get the feeling we're not going to be touching that game, at least anytime real soon. How is it compared to the other games?
It feels.
It's the Wrath of Cortex of the series.
If not that, you know how? Actually, you know what? No, I'd go a little bit better. I would describe it as this. You've played the original Spyro series, right?
Of course.
I've played 2 and a little bit of
Cool.
1.
So, imagine going from that and jumping immediately into the Elijah Wood reboot.
Or yeah, I guess there's that. Or honestly, I would just say Enter the Dragonfly.
I guess maybe a little bit Enter Dragonfly, but it really, in terms of, well, first off, I say more the Elijah Wood one, because they redesigned everybody, including Jack, a little bit.
Yeah,
He looks different from what he does
everyone
now.
everyone got a redesign, save for Dexter. I mean, he stayed relatively the same.
Yes, but then we got Dark Daxter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean...
Oh yeah, did I mention that happens? Which, spoilers for the... no, I can just say, because Dark Daxter, even though Dark Eco already made him into Daxter, more Dark Eco should kill him, not... Like, he's already gotten a dose of it. Thank you, Samos. Those are the oldest artifacts, and you've never thought to just up... Oh my goodness. Samos, shut up. We did all this in the first game. Samos, shut up. Shut up.
It's like
Well,
we
he probably
came from
thinks
that
we have-
time period.
Yeah.
We've done so much in that... Oh,
see.
hey, look.
Oh, cool.
Another armor upgrade.
Shoulder armor. I mean,
Shoulder
think-
armor.
geez,
Oh.
next thing you know, we're gonna be decked out with all this crap.
Oh, crap. We're not going up the way we came. And I
Nope.
think...
But
Located 4 critical power junctions that, if destroyed, could drop some of their shields.
Oh, that's handy that you found that out.
Below the junctions,
Just
get
now,
each
even.
one and protect it while
You deserve a gold star,
charges.
Torn.
You remember Jinx? He's working
So we need to go. So we need to go back to the port, and the idea is that we're gonna have ourselves an escort mission.
Out of how many we've had so far?
Yeah, a
wait.
couple of them.
You know, is it just me, or does that guy look a tad familiar?
It's Jinx.
Hey there, pretty boy.
He's one of the 3 guys who blew up that statue with Crew and us back in the day. And the only reason they brought him back is
Yeah.
because apparently he shares the same voice actress as Torn, I think, or Jack. I think it's Torn.
Yeah, Torn.
I think it's Jack.
Really? Well, it's somebody. Hang on. Let me
Yeah, I
just
think
look
you
it
were
up.
the one that said that.
Well,
Wait,
we
look
saw
up-
it. We did see in the credits for Jack too. I don't think it was Jack. I think it was Torn.
Let me see here. Jinx in this game is played by Cutter Garcia. Who does
Okay.
play Torn. It is
Okay.
Torn.
I do remember we sparked a similar discussion in Jack 2, and then, well, we were able to clarify that. But yeah, he's not an asshole anymore, I think.
Oh, he's also Mr. Minor in As Told by Ginger, my least favorite cartoon show.
Gotcha.
I never
It's-
cared. I never cared
so-
for that show.
Well, no, it literally was the kind of show, like, they had this really weird, oh wow, the whole, like, place where frickin' the Tomb of Mar used to be is blown up. Well, like, they had this stupid thing where, like, there was a period of time between Rugrats growing up where they thought, you know what kids love with cartoons? Seeing normal, real day,
Animated
every live
sitcoms.
sitcom stuff, where absolutely nothing exciting happens, just normal conversations.
Let's get out of here.
On a Jinx.
Yeah, that was kind of an odd trend around that time, because you have that, as told by Ginger. I think even Disney was having that with stuff like Proud Family and whatnot, although I guess in Proud Family's defense, they do occasionally dabble in, like, some really insane stuff.
Ammo. They had some fun. They had some wacky stuff in that. They also had some wacky stuff in Brace Face. I'm trying to think of anything
God,
else.
that's a name I never thought I'd hear again.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, there were a number. Okay, off we go. There were a number of animated sitcoms where, I mean, now they work. Stuff like, well, then again, even nowadays, they still. Nowadays, anime sitcoms still know that they should, like.
Remember that one episode of Brace Face where they talked about breast insecurity?
Yes, and that had a whole little thing. Anywho, but that all happened in
Sorry, I had to
children's
bring that up for the
cartoons.
sake of the
I
rest.
know you had a trick of freaking. Anyway, so on it, Jinx. Let's move.
Man, we ain't getting any younger.
On it.
Come to think of it, Jinx, whatever happened to your other crewmates?
I
Well,
guess
crewmates.
the one who talked like this, and the one who talked like this. Those two, who are known only by their voices. So,
Oh,
What was
for a moment I thought that beam literally zapped him.
nah, but yeah, as you can see,
Yeah.
the beam reflector is really helpful for taking out things in your blind spot that you can't see. What was I saying? So, even nowadays, I feel like anime sitcoms know to take advantage of the fact that they're a cartoon and have some wild things happen. Like Bob's Burgers has some surreal things happen. Archer, like they take advantage of the platform.
Nice work, Jackie boy. I'm gonna go see what I can
Oh.
surround you up. See you on the flip side.
We just got ourselves the upgraded Vulcan Fury.
Oh, cool.
What is this thing called again? I barely use this one too. The needle laser. This sucker homes in on anything that breathes and or moves and or looks at me funny.
Word of a shipment of
And or I look
And
at funny.
somewhere in the cages.
And why is it that you don't use it that
I
often?
think it's worth stealing. I want you
It
to
eats
go
up a lot of
in the
ammo.
vehicle with the eco.
Okay, that's fair.
Drive it back out
But
to the
it
vehicle
can
in one piece.
it can
I'm sure they'll try to stop
it can make use
but
of
we
weapon.
need
It can
that
make
eco for
use
the
of
war effort. Remember, don't lose the shipment.
Okay, I guess let's go take care of that shipment then.
It makes use out of something, I guess.
It makes the most out of like if you're surrounded and need to home in on a lot of things at once because it shoots out 3 little needle lasers at a time.
Now I just suddenly imagine
Anyway.
the flock of
Here's the
freaking
shipment.
bird Heartless from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Get back.
I was gonna ask, was there anything else? As
I
far
will
as
say
this mission
right
goes,
now,
was there
I will say,
anything-
okay, I will tell you right now, for no reason should you slow down for any reason whatsoever. Do not do anything but accelerate and drive. And the
Duly
issue
noted.
is that
Gotcha.
and the issue is we have heat-seeking missiles. So the second part of this mission to catch up to speed hype is they're going to activate beacons that I need to shoot, and then we're going to lure the missile to the beacon so that it'll get confused and lure onto that heat signature instead. Go ahead, Hype.
Okay, I was actually about to ask, not that your topic of animated sitcoms wasn't interesting, but I was actually kind of hoping if we could talk a little bit, get back to talking a little bit more about Lost Frontier, because I'm actually kind of curious as to how exactly that fares compared to the other ones. Like, you mentioned that aesthetically it was a sharp turn.
It's a bit of a sharp turn. Most of the voice cast is still there. They do follow a similar. I don't think there's a missile. I don't think there's a mission structure per se. It feels a lot more linear in the places you go.
It's a lot more linear. Like
It-
it's just your typical action
Oh.
game.
Oh, the bar sign's gonna be our last decoy because we have no more decoys left. Hurry!
Oh boy. Sorry, Dexter. No hard feelings.
You can
Hey,
make
what do you mean no on?
that sign up to full brightness. Hang on, Dax. It's gonna be close.
And
Boom.
Dude.
My beautiful
ow!
Oh.
Didn't think you could scream like that, could you? But
Yeah.
There's
And
plenty
also-
of things I didn't think Dexter could do, but he did them.
So yeah, and again, I would say whereas this and Jack X focus a lot on driving, Lost Frontier is all about airships and flying around, which I feel like they do kind of they made a decent amount of they made a decent effort with that. It kind of feels like it's something out of a Ratchet and Clank game, but yeah, that's all.
It was built off one.
It's good, not great.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing I feel for, like, say, Wrath of Cortex or Enter the Dragonfly. It's just it doesn't compare to the original trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's where we'll leave it. So, bye everybody.
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye.